Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Panhandle Sports Weekly. I'm Scott McKinney. Thank you for tuning in here on 30ATV and all of our media partners across the South. Thank you for making us a part of your evening and your week. We've got a big show lined up for you tonight as we're getting now into the thick of things in the college football scene. It's a big weekend of high school football as well. A lot of our teams across the Florida Panhandle are really getting the meat of their schedule. Also in college football, two classic matchups this weekend in the SEC that we're going to keep an eye on. A big one in the ACC between Notre Dame and Clemson. A couple others out on the West Coast that we'll follow as well. So tonight, we got some special guests. We're going to be talking to Bryant Malone. He's got an incredible new program and a great website that you're going to want to be a part of it. You're going to have to get a subscription to this thing. It is unbelievable. And also, we would have a little fun tonight knowing that being an Ole Miss alum like I am, and knowing that the Ole Miss Rebels are playing the Florida Gators this weekend, I searched the Panhandle high and low to find the biggest Florida Gator fan, and I found him, and I've brought him in studio tonight so we can go one-on-one, head-to-head, and decide who wins this matchup in the Swamp coming up Saturday night. So that will be a lot of fun as Rob Neal will join me for that. Gator Rob Neal, as many of you know from my Sports Talk radio show. So sit back, relax, get ready for a fun afternoon and evening of talking sports across the Florida Panhandle, and we'll get it all started when we come back. Welcome to another evening of Panhandle Sports Weekly with me, Scott McKinney, right here on 30ATV.
Loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The Lecom Dental Offices in Defuniak Springs is now accepting patients. You will receive care in comfortable state-of-the-art treatment rooms, care provided by supervised and experienced Lecom dental students. To schedule your appointment, please call the Lecom Dental Office 850-951-0200. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
I think we do an exam and x-rays for $15, which is a complete examination and a complete set of x-rays. Yeah, okay. Then we'll present you with various treatment plans, and you as a patient decide of those options which one suits me the best, financially, motivationally, etc.
And welcome back to Panhandle Sports Weekly. I'm Scott McKinney. Thanks again for watching us here on 30ATV, and make sure you stay tuned in to 30ATV for all the great programming we offer every day here. And don't forget, you can always go back and watch our shows on demand by logging on to 30A.tv anytime throughout the week. We're very pleased to have a special guest joining us to talk a little college football. And if you're a fan of college football, you definitely want to pay attention to what we're about to talk about, a fantastic new website and a new program that I think will pique your interest. Bryant Malone joins me now. Bryant, good to see you. Thanks for coming in here this afternoon.
All right, appreciate you having me.
All right, so your website is called collegefootballgamepicker.com. And truthfully, that says it all, but tell everybody, what is collegefootballgamepicker.com?
Well, it's basically a site that picks college football games using computer-generated team football stats. And I have been developing software for about 25 years. Just sent my last kid off to college, so had some time on my hands and figured, you know, what the heck, I'm going to go ahead and write a program to pick college football games. And so far, it's done pretty well, and you know, I've enjoyed doing it too. So.
Well, and it's a unique concept, and you've showed it to us, and I would encourage our viewers to make sure you go on to collegefootballgamepicker.com and check it out for yourself. There's a lot of painstakingly, I guess, input that goes into putting all the statistical information, keeping it updated every week. It's not just, hey, you're putting the two teams in and you're using a couple of variables. You've got a lot of different information that goes into this, making these decisions.
It is. I mean, we're putting in all kinds of stats, such as rush defense, you know, rush offense. I mean, you can, you know, go through and look at all once you go on the site, but strength of schedule against the spread average, and we, you know, match up two teams. You take all those stats, and it gives you the spread that the game picker thinks is going to be for the week, and then you can look at the Vegas line and see the difference, and you can see where Vegas is sometimes cheating lines a little bit, and I've seen that, which I didn't expect, but I have, and it's been very interesting. So it's kind of fun, just be able to go in there and take a look. So.
And one of the things too, Brian, as I've looked at this website, which is amazing, and the accuracy it's uncanny the way it's able to do this. It's essentially taking all this information you put in, it's running the numbers, and it comes forth with what is a projected point differential. And as you were telling me off the air before we started the show tonight, it's been pretty successful, even last weekend, for example.
Yeah, last weekend we went 30, 19, and 3 against the spread, which, if you've followed Vegas lines, if you're hitting above 50%, you're doing pretty well, and that's picking every game. That's not just picking favorites for the week. That's picking every single game for the week. And also, each week I give a free Thursday night pick and a 3 free weekend picks. And last weekend the weekend picks went 3-0 as well. So it was a good week, and with the statistical website, things tend to get better as you get more stats in. So hopefully, we'll get them better as the year goes. So.
It's really a cool website, and you are offering it in a subscription-based service, and it is unbelievably affordable right now. I mean, it's very inexpensive for viewers. If they want to go out there, check it out, and they can log on to collegefootballgamepicker.com and then subscribe. And once they subscribe, though, they're going to get the full, gamut of all picks.
Yes, it's $20 for the whole year, so it's not a whole lot at all. It's just basically get $20 and you can get every pick for the rest of the year, and it's cheap, and you can go in there and look at every single game and click on a graphic and it shows you the matchup within seconds for every game of the week. So I mean it's a very good deal as far as I'm not asking a whole lot for it, and this week I've got actually got a discount code 30ATV that $5 off, so it's really $15 for the whole year, and you're getting well above average on your picks, and you can go in there and look at it and see what the better picks of the best picks of the week are. So,
exactly, and folks, you heard that. So when you go to his website, collegefootballgamepicker.com, use the coupon code 30ATV, the promo code 30ATV, and that'll save you $5. But for $20, I mean, come on, for the year. And by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, you understand that? And I think if you keep that in mind, obviously, you can use that if you're somebody if you're a big college football fan that just likes to kind of get an idea. Maybe you're picking games in your office pool.
Exactly.
Maybe you're picking games with your family. Or maybe you're a little more serious. Maybe you head out to Vegas every weekend. But it still gives you more data to be able to look through.
Oh, yeah. It gives you great educated guesses at each game, and you can tell the ones that are better than others. There's some that are really tight, and then there's some you look at the spread and the game picker and you're like, wow, that's a pretty good pick this week. So.
And you were telling me, of course, I've got a very special guest, Rob Neal, who we call Gator Rob, will be on coming up in the show here in just a bit, and he and I are going to be discussing the Florida Ole Miss game. And what did you tell me that the picker has picked for that game?
It actually picked Ole Miss by 11 points. Not quite 42-14 like I've heard some people say, but 11 points. 11 points, but
that is more than the current spread of 7, though.
Yes. So that would be a strong swing to the Ole Miss if you were going to be picking that game. So yeah, that's one of the bigger spreads this week as far as the games go.
And see, that one was free, folks. So now, if you want the Georgia-Alabama game, or the Notre Dame-Clemson game, or any other game, you're not just picking the games in the South. You're doing games all across the country, right?
Yeah, and I will say sometimes the lesser-known games like Appalachian State last week, I picked them as one of my big picks of the week, and that was a runaway. And nobody knows Appalachian State, but if you look at the stats, you can get some inside picks that are pretty strong. So. And
it's all based on great factual information. All the statistics are updated every week, and there's hundreds of them that go into this computer system, into this program, and it goes through, and like you said, it does the matchup. So again, go on the website, collegefootballgamepicker.com, collegefootballgamepicker.com, and then check it out for yourself. It's only $20 for the entire year. That's going to go up as the next few years roll by. I can promise you that. So you'll want to get on the ground floor and use the promo code 30ATV to save $5. So I'm looking forward to getting on there. I've already been on there a few times and see just how well my picks match up. You know, my picks are pretty infamous. You know.
Yeah.
You've heard. Well, Brian, thanks for coming in, man. It's good to see you. Appreciate you. You guys check out his website. If you're a college football fan, it's going to become a must-see place to be every weekend to get ready for the big game. And we appreciate Bryant Malone for coming by and sharing it with us on collegefootballgamepicker.com. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll break down that Ole Miss Florida matchup. You're watching Panhandle Sports Weekly on 38 TV.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The Lecom Dental Offices in Defuniak Springs is now accepting patients. You will receive care in comfortable state-of-the-art treatment rooms, care provided by supervised and experienced Lecom dental students. To schedule your appointment, please call the Lecom Dental Office 850-951-0200. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
I think we do an exam and x-rays for $15, which is a complete examination and a complete set of x-rays. Yeah, okay. Then we'll present you with various treatment plans, and you as a patient decide of those options which one suits me the best, financially, motivationally, etc.
And welcome back to Panhandle Sports Weekly. I'm Scott McKinney, and again, thanks for watching on 30A TV as we have another exciting week of football ahead of us, and of course, the big game coming up in Gainesville. We're going to be breaking down the Florida Gators taking on the Ole Miss Rebels, and I looked and searched the entire Florida Panhandle to find the biggest Florida Gator fan, and I knew right under my own nose would be a guy who's been a part of our radio show every morning. He's been for many years a regular caller and a dear friend. He is known as Gator Rob. He is Gator Rob Neal. And Rob, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks for the invite.
And you've got your Gator shirt on, so he's doing well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got my jorts on, but you can't see them.
Well, as long as those jorts aren't too tight, I think we're going to be okay today. You know, let's talk about a little bit of the history, too, before we have some fun with this. That You know, Ole Miss and Florida have had some very memorable games.
They have.
Florida's had some big wins. Ole Miss has had some big wins. Even though they don't play each other that much, it's always been a fun series.
You look back, and I think I heard a stat today that 3 out of 4 of the last games were, Ole Miss beat Florida. But Ole Miss was not the favorite in any of those, from what I understand. So it's a different thing now. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, it was you remember the 11 o'clock game on Jefferson Pilot, right?
Yes.
It was never a big game like what this is. So
that's right.
So this has got a lot of people watching, I think it's going to be great. I think it's a step up in this game as a series.
I agree. And the game kicks off, by the way, 6 o'clock Saturday night, 6 o'clock Central on ESPN. It is the premier primetime ESPN game Saturday night in the Swamp with Ole Miss and Florida. Well, Rob, I've gone on record this week with my pick, but let's break this game down. And I want to break it down. Let's start with, first of all, the Ole Miss offense versus the Florida defense. I'll take the Ole Miss's offensive side, obviously, being an Ole Miss alumni, and you being a Gator alumni. Chad Kelly has come in. He's looked great. Jim Kelly's nephew. He's played exceptional football. He really has kind of taken what Bo Wallace did and taken it to another level. Ole Miss fans don't feel as nervous with Chad Kelly back there. If Chad Kelly gets hot, we have a good offensive line, maybe the best wide receivers in the SEC, all big, strong, physical wide receivers. Can the Florida defense stop the Ole Miss offense?
The Florida defense is definitely going to have their hands full, no question about it. Florida does have a good defense. They have not played up to their potential in the last several games. You would have thought that last week would have been, what it took to get them to play to their potential. But even then, they were missing a bunch of tackles. But if we can play to our potential, I do know that CC Jefferson is going to be available or playing this game. First, he's a freshman, but there's an X factor right there. You don't know anything about CC Jefferson. Obviously, highly recruited and so forth. But we have got a very good defensive line. We've got a very good secondary. Now Hargraves has been hurt lately, but we got Jalen Tabor back, or at least haven't heard he's not back yet. So unless there's another party on the horizon, but as far as I know, Jalen Tabor's back, and we're going to have to play our best game, no question. But
let's talk about the other side now. The Ole Miss defense, top 10 in the country last year as far as total defense. They bring back most of that defense. I think 9 returning starters, led by Robert Kimdichie, his brother Denzel Kimdichie. The Land Shark defense going against what is a little bit of a thin Gator offensive line and a redshirt freshman quarterback, Will Greer, who's looked pretty good. Can the Florida Gator offense get on track against this really good Ole Miss defense?
That's a big question. Florida's offensive line thin is probably a compliment to them right now. I mean, we got a young offensive line, and that's going to be one of the keys to the ball game. If we can protect the quarterback there. Will Greer has shown a lot of grit. He plays bigger than a redshirt freshman, and very competitive guy. And then Treon will be available. So I do hope that we stick with Greer. Hope we can stick with Greer. Certainly hope Treon doesn't have to come to the rescue. But he is there. He is there if he's needed.
Let's talk special teams now. Ole Miss's kicker, Will Gleason, is back. Their special teams has been really good. A game like this a lot of times comes down to special teams play. I feel really good about the Ole Miss special teams. What about Florida?
I feel really bad about the Florida special teams. That's an area we suffered from a lot of penalties in the special team area last week especially. We got a inexperienced kicker. Got a great name, Jorge. You gotta love the name.
Yeah.
But we're a little thin on special teams, which is surprising for Florida because that's an area that we in the past have been very competitive. So that's an area we're going to have to, we can't get hurt we can't. If we get hurt badly there, it's going to be difficult in the rest of the game is what I'm trying to say.
And as far as coaching is concerned, Hugh Freeze has made a name for himself pretty quickly at Ole Miss. He's a great recruiter. He's proven to be a fantastic on-the-field coach. Jim McElwain's coming into his own too. I give a slight edge to Ole Miss just because Hugh Freeze has a year or two on Jim McElwain as far as being in these type of games.
Yeah, I would say there also, and we're very, very pleased with Jim McElwain. Coach Mack has been a fantastic breath of fresh air to the program. Great recruiter, good offensive. So far has had a good offensive scheme. But Hugh Freeze has got the experience there. That's for sure.
Well, I certainly give Florida the home field advantage in that one.
You can't take that from me.
Can't take that from you. I'm going to tell you, I've made this my first mud hole stomping pick of the year. I think Ole Miss goes in and just demolishes Florida, 42-14. I like the Rebels big. I think the game is over at halftime. Tell me, for the Gators, if they're going to win the game, what has to happen?
Well, I'll tell you, I've told you before on mud hole stompings. You don't want to be in a mud hole with a Gator.
That's true,
and that's a tough place to be. So, the keys probably we got to stay in the game, just as you said. If y'all have a big first half, it's going to be very hard for our boys to stay in there. So we got to stay in the game. We got to be able to run the ball a little bit, protect the quarterback. We got to play 4 quarters. We haven't done that so far this year. We got to do that. Don't give up the cheap points. That's important for us. Giving up the cheap points is going to be a problem. My pick. Some of my UF people might be mad at me.
Don't do it.
My pick is Ole Miss 30, UF 20. I'm sorry to say it. But
wait a minute. If you hold a Gator helmet to your ear, you can hear Tim Tebow crying in the distance.
But if you hold an Ole Miss helmet to your ear, you can hear the NCAA coming to call.
Fair enough. Touche, my friend. Touche. Rob Neal, one of the all-time great Gators here in the Panhandle, and he is with us tonight to preview. It should be a fun game, my friend, and we appreciate you coming.
Great. Thanks for having me.
All right. We're going to come back. We'll wrap up this week's show. Get you ready for next week. You're watching Panhandle Sports Weekly. Hotty toddy. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Right here on 30A TV.
I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area. Still love you like that. No, we don't die. Yes, we multiply. Anyone press we hear the fire they sing. Act like you know we go. I know what both don't know. Touch them up and go. Here come the upstepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Pick up the crew in the area. Still love you like that. Here come the upstepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
A hot home in South Walton for $300,000? That's correct. Church Street Village is your opportunity to make South Walton County, Florida life a reality. It's coastal living without the coastal pricing. Located just north of the beaches of 30A, convenient schools and shopping, built exclusively by the reputable Huff Homes Company. Church Street Village provides unmatched luxury at incredible prices. Phase 2 has just been released, starting in the mid-200s. Plans begin from 1,200 square feet, finished beautifully. These gorgeous homes are a must-see when finding your next home. To arrange a viewing, call Randy Rentala at 850-974-1460 or find Randy on Facebook at Rentala Realty or rentalarealty.com.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The Lecom Dental Offices in Defuniak Springs is now accepting patients. You will receive care in comfortable state-of-the-art treatment rooms, care provided by supervised and experienced Lecom dental students. To schedule your appointment, please call the Lecom Dental Office 850-951-0200. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
And welcome back to Panhandle Sports Weekly. I'm Scott McKinney. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. So glad you're able to watch. We had some great guests tonight. We appreciate, of course, our friends Bryant Malone, who came by with collegefootballgamepicker.com. Make sure you go onto that website. Use the promo code 30ATV to get all of the picks for the week. And, of course, our friend Gator Rob Neal to break down the Ole Miss Florida game. It's going to be a fun weekend of college football. Of course, there's big games all across the landscape this weekend. We always like to encourage you to start your weekend off by getting out and supporting high school football. The weather for this weekend and next week looks amazing, very fall-like. So make sure you get out on Friday night, support your local high school teams. Whether you have a son or daughter involved, I know that it will be a real fun night for you and your family. And then, of course, on Saturday, to enjoy all of the college games, the NFL games on Sunday. That's always a blast. Don't forget to tweet at us. You can tweet at me at HeyScottyMac. That's at HeyScottyMac. And of course, check us out online at 30A.tv. That's www.30A.tv. You can pull up any of our shows on demand and watch them all week long. We'll be back next week. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about next week. More big games on the horizon. And of course, we'll be celebrating that big Ole Miss victory over the Florida Gators next week right here on the show. Sorry, Gator fans, you know I had to do it. Have a great week, everybody. You've been watching Panhandle Sports Weekly on 30A TV with me, Scott McKinney.